Welcome to Political Paradigm on Channels Television. I'm Terry Ikumi. My first guest today is a veteran political strategist. He's an elder statesman and chieftain of the Nigerian Democratic Congress. He's gone from being a founding member of the APC to his role in the NNPP and now as a key voice in the new opposition coalition ahead of 2027 as a member of the Nigerian Democratic Congress. He's been at the center of Nigeria's political realignment for over 3 decades. Engineer Buba Galadima, welcome to Political Paradigm.
Thank you very much, Terry. Thank you.
Nice to see you. Now, so it's let's talk about the polity straight away. All is set for commencement of campaigns. Names have been submitted. INEC has released those names. Your principal is among the candidates. What do you make of the polity as it is right now?
I always speak frankly. There are a lot of uncertainties within the polity. And nobody except God and President Tinubu knows where we are heading to. And that is the truth on the table. NDC is not even very sure that they can still present the candidates and contest this election. ADC is also ditto. There is no party that it's sure they will contest this election except the APC, because they dictate the tune. They ask the judiciary what they will do. They ask INEC what to do. They also use the security agencies to enforce their will on the docile people of Nigeria. So we are ready, if we are allowed by them, to face them at the ballot. And my hopes had always been that they will allow not free and fair, but even a semblance of election. You have seen what is happening, the cadabra that is happening in Osun. If elections are held fairly, APC will be nowhere in Osun.
So while you blame the president for the situation and the...
I'm not blaming him, please, Terry. I'm not blaming him. I'm only saying the obvious, that is his character in him.
Okay.
I'm not blaming him.
That's not the same thing?
No.
What's the difference?
No. Oh, so you are confirming also that his antics and characters are not good enough?
No, I'm asking if you are saying that the president is responsible for what's happening with the opposition.
Indirectly so.
Okay.
Yes. Because I've not said that. What I am saying is that they are not being fair to even themselves, let alone the country or the peoples of this country to whom they care.
But the president has said that he will not be responsible for helping the opposition put its house in order. And then we see that even from your primaries that held, there are quite a number of aggrieved members.
Correct.
And you are now heading the reconciliation committee of the party. So while you blame the president or suggest that he's to be blamed for it, does your party take responsibility for any internal issues that it's had? And maybe you will seize this moment to give us an update on the reconciliation process so far.
Thank you very much. That exactly confirms my view. Where did we get to this reconciliation? We got to this reconciliation because the only way the parties were asked to generate candidates is through direct primaries or through consensus. And neither of which can successfully be done by opposition. The obvious thing that the government knows is that gladiators will try to outwit the other. Fracas can happen. Or even the government can push in its agents and thugs to disturb the process. Since Tinubu is afraid of competition, he doesn't want anybody to compete with him. Up to now, as I'm talking to you, that's why we learned he's saying that he's not going to campaign physically. that he has done what he needs to do, and that is his campaign. But the truth of the matter is that he is not going to be able to campaign physically. Not because he has nothing on the ground to show that he has done anything that would warrant a single vote by any Nigerian, maybe except his wife or children. There is nothing in politics like the will of the president or the will, just hold on, or the will.
I'm hoping you could speak more about your party.
Oh no.
Especially because you're heading the reconciliation committee.
I have to give examples for those that are watching us,
yes,
to understand the genesis, that it is not only my party, that it is almost every party.
Yeah, but fine. But what is the problem with your party?
There is no problem with my party except the Nigerian factor.
What is the Nigerian factor?
The Nigerian factor is that the two ways of producing candidate is impossible for any opposition party to do.
So
because hold on now,
yeah,
even the government sends, or the APC sends moles into your own party. If you are doing consensus, whatever you do, they will say they no agree.
Was that what happened in the MDC?
Of course. They will say they no agree. You go for direct primaries, they send their own thugs to disrupt. So we are faced with this enormous responsibility as reconciliators to sort out this matter.
As you go into the 2027 campaign season, does it bother you that you don't have a governor within your fold? Especially because you were really close to clinching Governor Bala Mohammed, whom you now say opted out because he was advised not to go to the NDC, to a party where they have a strong presidential candidate. Does that bother you?
You see, Terry, if you are a politician, you should convince yourself that you can do the impossible. And we had experiences in this. For example, in 2019, every political juggernaut in Kano migrated to the APC. All the former governors, all the former senators, all the former House of Rep, the chairman of local government, and councillors. Kwankwaso had no single former councillor except himself. And we defeated them flat. They had to use federal might, military, police, DSS to take that victory from us, and the courts to take that victory from us. We have this experience. We can reenact that for Nigeria if there would be a semblance of election. Semblance of election does not mean free, fair, and transparent, because we know that this government and these people in the APC will never dream of doing even the semblance of election that we are requesting for, because they are afraid to their bone marrow that if they are subjected to the Nigerian people, even Tinubu will not secure his what do you call it, this percentage if you get
25%.
Eh?
25%?
No. He will lose his deposit.
Mr. Galadima, you talk a lot
if
about...
If you say no, let him allow free and fair election. If you are trying to tell me no.
I wouldn't say no.
From your face, I can read you that you didn't believe me when I say he will lose deposit. Let him try to
You know, the interesting part is a lot of people hardly believe you because you've been just about all over the place as far as politics is concerned. But this is another conversation for another day. But let me tell you.
Let's expatiate that, because I don't want to leave a toga for Nigerians to think that, Galadima is a bad man.
You were with former President Muhammadu Buhari.
Yes.
You were there.
Yeah.
You've been with Kwankwaso for a while now. Now you're with the obedience. And I don't want to take you back, even though I will take you back to some of the things you said about the obedience ahead of the 2023 election. So now that brings me to this conversation.
You are free. No.
Let's
sort out my integrity first.
Good, let's talk about that. I'm taking you to that.
I didn't, at the same time, I didn't follow Buhari, Kwankwaso, and obedient.
Not at the same
No,
time.
Not at the same time.
Beautiful. Now,
So,
in
listen,
2023,
if there is any single principled politician in Nigeria, if you are counting on record, I should be number one.
but in 2023, ahead of the election, you said that Peter Obi is not at the level of Kwankwaso, and Kwankwaso cannot be a running mate to him.
Correct.
You said that Peter Obi did well in Anambra State, but Kwankwaso did way more. And so Kwankwaso cannot be a running mate to him.
Correct.
Now Kwankwaso is a running mate to Peter Obi, and you're pushing that mandate.
Yes.
What has changed?
Oh, you don't know what has changed? You are from where? No, tell me in Nigeria, which geographical zone do you come from?
South.
Huh?
South.
If I say that the Southerners believe that it is their turn to produce president, can I be correct or wrong?
No, that's a rhetorical question.
No, it's not rhetorical.
It should be rhetorical.
Everything is on the table. You from the South
Yes.
believe that this is your turn, even though it is not by law. You believe that?
What is your no, I need to understand what sentiment you're driving.
I'm not driving sentiment.
Okay, so what exactly?
I'm just saying the obvious, that the South believe this is their turn, even though it is not constitutional, it is not by law.
You buy into that now?
Listen now, it is not a written law.
Yes.
And if I am a strategist in politics, and there is a mindset of a certain group, and I have to conquer them, I have to give in and win, or stand alone and lose.
So you buying into the narrative that it is the turn of the Southeast?
I say first South. We can come to the Southeast because this Obi and Kwankwaso is a healing ticket. It's a healing ticket so that Nigerians can forget the past.
You know, it's interesting you say this because I recall in 2023, and I'm going to quote you clearly, because you said the issue from Peter Obi's side was that there is a sentiment in the Southeast that the president must come from the extraction.
Correct.
And we say, no, we belong to a party called Nigeria.
Yes.
Those are primordial sentiments that have never assisted Nigeria to become one. So you also said, basically, you accused the Obi camp of pushing a Southeast agenda for the presidency.
Huh? No.
You said the Obi camp is pushing a
okay.
Southeast agenda.
Correct, Terry.
So what has changed though?
What has changed is that since the start of this politicking, have you ever had one single Igbo man from Southeast who has talked about Igbo presidency? I ask you. Did you hear?
So that's the reason why.
No. I have not taken. I want to take you through.
Okay.
Have you had? Be honest. Tell me.
That narrative has always existed and will continue to exist.
Can you quote one person in the last 1 year from the Southeast who said Obi is going to be Igbo president?
What are you asking for? A famous person, a popular person, or just anybody?
Even an Agbaro from Mararia Market.
I strongly believe that the people of the Southeast...
Tell me who.
1 second. I believe that the people of the Southeast are holding on to the sentiment that they deserve to rule the country.
They can hold to any sentiment within their heart, but they have never pronounced Igbo presidency. They themselves are now projecting Obi as a Nigerian president. And through our discussions and interactions with them, and we told them that the best way for the Igbo man to be president is not to ask for Igbo president, but to say Nigerian president. And we are quite satisfied that that criteria is met. And there are other things which communication has opened everybody's eyes. Normally, when elections are near, Northerners are being attacked all over the Southeast. When did you hear in the last 1 year and 1.5 years that Northerners were attacked in the Southeast? Thank God to the understanding that is prevailing between the North and the Southeast. And that is what convinced us that Any Nigerian, anybody who believes in Nigeria and can act Nigeria, live Nigeria, would be supported to be Nigeria's president.
But beyond the tribal and ethnic sentiments, another reason why you said that Kwankwaso can never deputize Peter Obi was because of the Kwankwasia movement, which you said is about 32 years old, and that Kwankwaso has way more experience than Peter Obi. At this point where Kwankwaso is the deputy to Obi, does that no longer exist?
It exists.
But
we are using it, leveraging on it to win election. Because we want to be where we can influence events and assist people like you and build the country. If the Kwankwasia alone cannot make Kwankwaso president, then we have to think a way of him where he will participate at the highest level of government, such that all these our ideas, noble ideas that we have for Nigeria, can be translated into physical presence.
So why the obedient movement? Why have you chosen to align the Kwankwasia and the obedient movement?
Oh, Terry. Now, you see, Nigerian politics is a very funny game. Do you want Tinubu to come back?
I think that's a rhetorical question as well.
It's not rhetorical. You are Nigerian. You should vote.
Yeah, but I'm working.
Are you voting?
I am voting.
Who are you voting?
Oh, the manifestos are yet to come out.
Forget about manifesto.
Well, I mean, it's what the
do you
candidates
want Tinubu
say.
To come back?
It is what the candidates say that will determine who I vote.
Do you want Tinubu to come back?
It's up to you to decide what you want, Mr. Galadima. I'm a journalist, and I'm not allowed to express my personal sentiments on air.
Yeah. You are a Nigerian before becoming a journalist.
Yeah, but I'm not allowed. I have a job. My job doesn't allow me to express personal sentiments on air. The reason is I could sway public opinion, and I'm not supposed to do that.
And you brought me to sway public opinion.
What's
the difference?
You're not working here. You're not working here. But let me ask you a question genuinely. You don't.
No.
You don't.
I should answer this question.
Let's do the pro.
I should answer this question.
Which of the questions?
That why do we now support Obi?
Yes.
Yes. Because we are political strategists. We do the arithmetic. We don't act before thinking. We think before we act. Each time. And we had done our arithmetic fairly well. And discovered that if you are using the sentiments of South, Obi is from the South, to become president. If Kwankwaso will find it difficult, not that God cannot make him president, even if he doesn't have Kwankwasia movement, but it can be difficult. If he doesn't have the means, you people are accusing him, he had no money. You people are accusing him, he has only Kano. And we tried to explain as if the press were paid to pin Kwankwaso down to only Kano. And I kept on asking, is there anybody that you can say for sure can deliver his state, any politician in Nigeria like Kwankwaso? You have no answer. So, we agreed with you. Oh, Kwankwaso does not deputize. If that is the issue, Kwankwaso can step back. You know how the ram fight? Do you know? They
lock horns.
They lock horns and they pull back and gather momentum to hit again. In Hausa, fada garago ba tsoro bane. Meaning in Hausa that the pulling back by the ram that is not cowardice. It's only preparatory to a stronger punch. So we want to defeat all these things at the same time. If you want to defeat Tinubu, what would you do? We thought the best thing to defeat Tinubu would be to bring a southern candidate that can have a minimum of 5 states. If he has above 5, it is a bonus.
So you're leveraging on Obi's popularity.
Oh God. If you don't want the people to listen, because I'm not campaigning.
I'm just saying,
you brought me to campaign for Obi.
I brought you to speak about politics.
No, and campaign for Obi, because when I speak about politics, there is no way I cannot talk of the OK ticket.
You don't want to campaign for Obi?
I say if I speak about, there is no way I could not speak about OK ticket.
I mean, yes.
You know what is OK?
Yeah, Obi and Kwankwaso, yes.
So I want to Terry to be OK. Yeah? And all those that look at us.
I had a conversation with...
Listen,
it's the same conversation with Mr. Festus Keyamo last week.
Who is that one?
And he's the Minister of Aviation.
Huh?
Minister of Aviation. I'm sure you're familiar with him. He insisted that based on the numbers, and you've just mentioned arithmetic here, based on the numbers... I didn't
finish now.
He questioned...
It's because you didn't want me to finish for the people to understand.
No, he's asking, where will the Obi votes come from, considering the arithmetic, which you just mentioned?
So Nigerians don't believe that Obi can master 5 states in the south. Let me tell Festus Keyamo, where is his state? Delta, yeah? That Obi will win Delta. Where does he have investment most? In Lagos. Obi will win Lagos. Tell him I said so. He knows me now.
Well, how does the North, how does the North perceive Peter Obi?
You see?
The North, how do they perceive Peter Obi?
And we are trying to tell them Obi is a Nigerian who means well for this country. And all the accusations, all the libeling they are doing is incorrect by political adversaries and government that is trying to run down a strong Nigerian who wants to build their future. Let me tell you, Terry, how old are you?
Old enough.
Huh?
Old enough.
No, tell me your age.
No, old enough. Not on air, Mr. Galadima.
Why?
Let's stretch this conversation.
No, we are not stretching.
No, we will stretch it.
I want to know your age because there is a point I want to make.
You can make the point by
I can't make the point when I don't know your age.
It has to do with tell you that
I think it has to do with age.
You know, Mr. Keyamo said something. He said in 2023, Peter Obi played up religious sentiments. The conversation of the Muslim ticket took center stage. But he says at this point now that that's gone. No one is concerned about the Muslim ticket. 4 years on, there's been no suggestion of Islamization of Nigeria. However, a few days ago, the Muslim cleric, Yahaya Sani Jingir, made some comments where he said he described Christians as infidels. And the conversation of the Muslim ticket has now been revived. The reason is he said that the Muslim ticket suggests that Muslim dominates Nigeria.
It's okay. I thought you saw Cardinal Onayekon spoke. So I urge all Christians to vote for Christian, and those of us who are liberal can decide which way to vote. And let's see. I don't believe in this so-called small political minds bringing religion and tribe into politics. I don't believe in it. I don't discuss it.
But do you condemn Jingir's comments, especially because the governor of Kano State, who's from where Kwankwaso hails, was there, and he was applauding and cheerful about the comments? Isn't that dangerous for a leader?
Did Tinubu, who is a beneficiary, put up a comment to condemn it? Kwankwaso and Tinubu, who is bigger?
Do you condemn it?
I say, who is bigger?
Who is bigger?
Tinubu and Kwankwaso.
Who is bigger?
Tinubu. Did he condemn it?
In 2023, you said the other thing, but let me ask.
What did I say?
But do you condemn it?
Condemn what?
The comments by him.
I even told you that I don't want to comment on anything religion or tribe because I don't belong to that class.
Well, as we go into 2027, do you think that religion or tribe could play a role in how votes are cast?
That is exactly why I asked for your age. If you had told me your age, I could have relieved you of this stress to ask that question. But you refuse, so you don't want an answer.
I'm a voting age, so I think I pass to hear what you have to say.
You know, we are accused of several things about Obi, and we have ready answers for anybody who accuses Obi of whatsoever. We will defend him to the last. And if elections are held, semblance of election is held, Obi will be the president of this country. And if anybody doubts me, I challenge him to organize a free and fair and transparent election. And let's see if Tinubu does not come number 4 or 3.
All right. Just before we go, I want to ask you this question as far as this election is concerned and the issue of security is concerned, because we see state police coming into formation now. If we have state police ahead of the election, would you have fears?
Yes. I have been fighting the issue of state police since 1987. And all those that are now in the forefront of establishing state police will live to regret it, because it will catch up with them. We have seen we have seen how the native authority police work. In fact, those ones would be saints when police command is handed into the hands of these governors. You cannot go back to your village. You talk here against them and you go back to your village, they will slaughter you in the night, not lock you. So what I'm saying is that the issue is not about Nigerian police. Even the insurgency or Boko Haram is not the failure of the security agencies. It is the failure of the will of the people to do what is right. And I want to say that this insurgency in Nigeria can never be conquered. Can never be conquered until one thing is done. I saw either the Chief of Defense Staff or the Minister of Defense, one of them, I can't remember. You know, I'm getting old. Saying that they are going to establish super camps and they are going to diversify divisions of the military to various locations. I want to tell him that that cannot succeed.
So what is the one thing that will succeed?
The one thing that can succeed is that the government will create the will, as Jonathan did, and take the fight to the terrorists, dislodge them, acquire territory, move until they occupy all the spaces.
Very well.
But you sit down in a super camp until they attack you and you repel. So if they dictate what will happen, because the terrorists or the Boko Haram have to get ready until they attack you, then you respond. It will never end that problem.
Engineer Galadima, I'd like to thank you very much for your time. And when campaigns kick off properly, I would like to speak with you again. You
promised me every week we will speak. No, it should be on camera for people to understand.
I will work on that.
So that they will be looking forward to that time.
I will work on that, but I thank you for your time. It's always a pleasure speaking with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Well, I've been speaking with Engineer Galadima. He's a chieftain of the NDC. We'll take a quick break now. And when we return, we'll switch the conversation. Do stay with us. Well, welcome back to Political Paradigm. Let's switch the conversation now. And I'm joined by former House of Reps Chair and Army. He's a two-time governorship aspirant of Adamawa State and has been recently appointed the Director General of the Border Communities Development Agency, Honorable Abdulrazak Namdas. Welcome to Political Paradigm.
Thank you so much. Welcome, Terry.
You're not aging at all. What's going on?
I'm aging.
You seem too relaxed. I mean, you've gone from NDDC to BCDA now. How's the agency doing, the BCDA?
Yes, we thank God.
It's a very key agency considering our security situation and the border concerns. But we hear that there's some crisis at the agency. Have you resumed work?
Well, I have not resumed work, but I think very soon I will resume. You know, when announcements when President announces an appointment, it has to undergo some bureaucratic processes. And I want to believe that once those bureaucratic processes are completed in the SGF's office, I will give him my letter and I will resume duty. I think it's not a problem.
Well, you sure it's not a problem? Because it's been reported as a problem. I mean, it's been weeks since you were appointed, and we hear that the man who was there before, George, has not vacated the seat, even though he left to go run an election. Now the question is, did he resign? Did he not resign? Are you confidently saying that it is peaceful, or is that the true situation of things?
Actually, no, that's not my area of purview.
Okay.
Because anytime I get my letter, if I get to the office and I have issues, then I now believe that there's an issue on ground. But for now, I think I have not even been given a letter, so I don't want to speculate on what I don't know. But I can tell you that given what is happening in the country, that the president has even directed an investigation to a fake agency. Officials of government are trying to do due diligence on certain things before they issue letters. I think, let me believe that all is well. This is the second time the president is appointing me to office. I represented the Northeast on the governing board of the NDDC. And when I was appointed, it took some few weeks before I got to resume. So no problem. I think it will come by the grace of God.
So here, the problem with that is that we're seeing that the budget for the ministry, for that agency, is stalling because of the leadership situation. Does it normally take weeks or almost a month for you to get your letter of appointments?
No, I just feel that this is something that the Secretary of Government of the Federation will actually deal with. Remember when the head of service appeared before the ad hoc committee investigating the fake agency in the House of Representatives, she admitted to the fact that some of the officials acted on certain letters, but they are sorry about it. So what I'm trying to say is that it will not only be the head of service. I expect that even all over, people will now be very careful before they take actions. And whoever, the Secretary of Government is the one that will oversee some of these things. And I believe there's a problem he should be in a position to handle. But I want to believe that by the time I pick my letter, and the president said with immediate effect, and the announcement has not been reversed, so I want to assure you that I will be there.
So I'm giggling over that because you said the president said with immediate effect. It's almost a month now. You still don't have the letter. The agency is suffering from lack of funding. There's another man, the man who was there before, who was chosen not to leave the office.
You see, when I was appointed in NDDC, I was appointed actually in August.
Yes.
But I resumed in October.
That's bureaucracy, it's understandable.
That's bureaucracy.
There was no one fighting you as to whether or not you're supposed to be there or not. This is a different situation.
I tell you, even now, even when you say somebody is fighting me, assuming they have collected a letter and I get to the office and I find somebody claiming my office, then I'll be.
So why is the Ministry of Finance withholding the budget of the agency?
You see, I've not resumed, so I don't want to speak on something that I don't have the powers to do, authority to talk about.
Yeah, from my understanding of the Border Communities Development Agency, you have a lot on your plate, considering Nigeria's porous borders, considering the security situation, ungoverned spaces around that area. Do you have an idea what is ahead of you and what your plans are for that agency?
Mr. Terry, you see, I am not new to BCDA. I know we've been together in the House of Representatives when you used to cover us, and I've been there for 8 years. And while I was there, I belonged to a committee called Special Duties. That committee oversighted BCDA.
Okay.
And I was one of those active members that oversighted the BCDA. So I'm not new to them. In fact, the head office that time was in Maitama, not Utako as it is at the moment. And almost all my constituency projects, 70% of them were domiciled in the BCDA. If you go to my constituency now, I still have a lot of projects that were supervised by the BCDA. If I should go to the office today, I am very sure I will know some faces that because I've been oversighting them, I know their challenges. So, given that, given the situation, I want to tell you that if I get to the office today, my plan is that you need to do a needs assessment of the border communities. You see, these communities are neglected. And sometimes they lay their allegiance to the other country instead of Nigeria. So, because I come from a border community too, so these challenges are something that I know very well. I'm part of it. So, you don't do needs assessment. You wouldn't know what community A and community B is looking for. Some communities, their problem will be water. Others will be electricity. You give them small power panels. Others will be school. And everybody has his own challenge. Some will even need small culverts and bridges that can make them move from one community to the other. So this needs assessment will give me an idea of the challenge and the priority I should put in place. And again, while I was oversighting the place, I know that communities on their own do write to BCDA. I come from a border control. We have written to the BCDA before, and they responded. So sometimes you look at some of the write-ups from some of these communities on their own. Then you look at what you have, and you look at what your team have gone to the place to see. What is this their priority? So I think I will do a needs assessment and see what is it that is a priority, because the mandate of the BCDA is to fill the gap of infrastructure. People don't, if you go to some communities like border communities, some go to schools in other bordering countries. So instead of them to pay allegiance to your country, they feel that, look, they go to school. So you give them the school here. You provide hospital for them. Get water for them potable water for them to drink, because it also has some health challenges. So this is what I will do.
As chairman, former chairman, House Committee on Army, I'd like to think that you have some security expertise to understand the consequences of having a weak security system at our border. At our borders, we're talking about over 1,500 border communities, and
in fact, we have about 3,000 border communities.
So you see, and then the issue of smuggling and arms trafficking is a major concern as far as these border communities are concerned. When you look at the agency as it is, do you think it has a direct responsibility on these border communities?
If you look at the act establishing the BCDA, this BCDA was established in 2003. And then you know that the act actually allows for the board to relate with some ministries. I can remember very well that the Minister of Defense, the IGP Police, they are all part of BCDA. And most of the ministers, the education, agri, internal affairs, and what have you. So since you have the security components, certainly you are supposed to work. That's what we call interagency collaboration. Yes. So you need to also collaborate with these agencies, the security forces, to see how best you people can put heads together and provide security. In some cases, some communities need a police post where some policemen will be drafted to stay there so that they can be able to oversee, and they work together with some vigilante groups and what have you to see how they can work together. And I think my understanding again is that the ECOWAS protocol on free movement of goods and services allows citizens of West Africa to move from one point to another freely, because there's a protocol. There's an agreement between these West African states. Now, in the process, you find people try to take advantage of that, smuggle drugs, some criminal activities. Some people even are alleged to even smuggle some arms, like small and light weapons. It's been reported that about over 500 million small and light weapons are already smuggled across Nigerian borders. So these are things that you have to work with, using the interagency collaboration. Work with the NIS, Nigerian Immigration Service, Customs, Police, DSS, and see how you can be able to cope this. Okay. And don't forget that, my PhD was in, I did my PhD, my thesis on cross-border conflict and insurgency. So I a little bit know some of these challenges. Right.
So now you are a former chair House Committee on Army.
Yes, sir.
And while you were there, one of the things you canvassed for was improvement in the welfare of security personnel, and also the right equipment for them to work and fight. The president has recently increased the salaries of the men of our armed forces. What does this say, and does this make up for the concerns around the sophistication of the weapons with which our men fight?
You see, weapons alone cannot do anything. You need the welfare of the people. You have to motivate even the personnel to put in their best, because machines cannot just work on their own. They still need human interactions to see how this thing can be fully optimized, fully utilized. And I know that even during Buhari era, a lot of attention was paid on machineries and what have you. And the present government has also upgraded that. And increasing the salaries of military personnel is something that we also canvassed in our time we didn't get. But I think in Buhari's era, it was the police in 2021 got that benefit. But now, I think the president has done optimally well. Because if you look at the life of a soldier, he may be married, but I can tell you he will see his wife probably just twice or in a week, in a year, either a month, because he keeps being transferred from one point to the other, and he needs to have that his welfare to be taken care of him, both him at the war front and his family back home. So this is very key and it's important. I think the president has actually done that. And in this case, the way it was increased, I think it's very significant. 80% was meant from private soldiers to either to sergeants. This is 80% of them, because these are the major guys that go to the war front and do the main job. So I think it boosts their morale. Apart from that, even the middle cadre about 50%, and then the generals about 30%. I think that is something that I think the president has actually done well. We canvass for that.
So when you hear the opposition raising concerns around insecurity in the country, and your understanding of what you believe the president has done, how do you feel?
You see, let me even take your example. The president said, okay, I have approved, given the approval to increase the personnel of the military to up to 28,000. Now, 28,000 is not small. But again, people should also understand that the president has done two things. One, making that pronouncement to recruit 28,000. But now, in our time, when I was chairman, the only depot, Zaria depot, was the only depot that was training new recruits. And that was established as far back as 1924. This is a century, almost a century. Only one strict place. So the infrastructure in that place has already gone. And you cannot be able to take more than, let's say, 600 to 700 people per session. Not because they don't have the manpower, but it has been overstretched. But this president said, having realized this, let me even increase the number of depots to 3. He has increased, there's one depot in Ebonyi now, there's a depot also in Osun State. Now, and making 3 depots. So that means by the time this recruitment is going to take place, the numbers will really increase. And that apart, the divisions. During the Civil War, it used to be only divisions in 1967 to 70. It used to be only 1st Division in Kaduna, 2nd Division in Ibadan, 3rd Division here in Plateau, in the Centrals. But subsequent governments started increasing it, like Obele Jonathan brought 7 division to take care of insurgency in Borno State. The President Buhari also increased his own, brought Sokoto, brought I think Port Harcourt also. Now, the President currently expanded another 4 divisions. We have Adamawa Taraba taking care of Division 10. We have Ilorin, 9th Division. He has already also, I think that's 83 Division in, in Benin. And one other division, I think, I can't remember, but I know it's about 4. So that has taken care of more surveillance. And border communities will now be able to benefit from that because it has gotten closer to the people. In my state alone, out of 21 local governments, about 9 local governments are on border communities. So you can imagine that hitherto before now, the military may not be able to cover most of this place, but with this expansion, I want to tell you that the president will sufficiently, the military will sufficiently be able to cater for some of these communities that hitherto have no security, surveillance, and protection. Okay,
so this is beyond the communities, because when we take a look at the statistics of Nigerians who have died across this, over 600,000 Nigerians since May 2023, and that's a big figure. So when you take if you take the issue of insecurity in isolation, and I'm taking that with you because you're a former chair on Army, and now you head the Border Community Development Agency, which is also a key security aspect of Nigeria. When you take the statistics of the deaths in the past 3 years, and then you compare that to what you say When you take insecurity in isolation, would you say that Nigeria has made progress? Insecurity has not entirely been wiped out, but how do you measure the progress with regard to insecurity, considering all the things you've reeled out that the president has done to tackle insecurity?
Yes, I think there's marked improvement. But I think, remember, even in this government, the Nigerian military it's already in public domain that they've been able to deal with over 13,000 insurgents. So when you're talking of the deaths, also consider the fact that even the insurgents are being dealt with. It's not only people that are in those communities, that even the insurgents are being dealt with. And that has because the military have done their part. And to be fair, we're not only going to say only the military. When we say this times around, when they do some kind of, some kind of cooperation, you'll find that, I say, you get the police, the DSS, the army, they all sometimes do joint operations to see how they can be able to succeed. I think they've been really doing their best. However, you see, people always feel that there are certain policies of government that has been able to even reduce insurgency. Insurgency is not just about shooting, killing people by the council. Sometimes you take proactive means of how you can be able to address insurgency. Sometimes moving from point A to point B, where you have bad roads, during our time when we go for oversight, we find out that even infrastructure, simple infrastructure like bad roads also causes problems. That's why we were calling on state governments that also do your own part. Don't just rely on federal government, because when these insurgents come and then they block a road, people cannot even run away. You understand? So because the road is bad, so they get trapped, and sometimes they fly mines on the road. So, but with this government, I think they've been able to get good equipment. There is understanding between joint operations between armed forces and some other security networks, and that has really helped reduce the challenges we have at the moment.
Yeah, about the factor of poverty, which many say is the root cause of insecurity in the country. Do you think this government has been able to tackle poverty headlong? And perhaps you might want to point to statistics because of the numbers, which are suggestive that that more people are delving into poverty.
Well, I think poverty is not only confined to Nigerian society. It is almost a global issue. However, there are certain policies of government that have been put in place to cushion the effect of poverty. I give you an example. When this government came into existence in 2023, one of the policies that were people really criticized is removal of the oil subsidy. Agreed, and I agree with them that when the subsidy was removed, certainly there was hardship. But it's already expected because government policies and programs need time to always germinate. But in the long run, this removal of fuel subsidy ended up getting more revenue for Nigeria. And today, most of the governors across the states, and 36 states and the FCT, have doubled their income.
Yeah, they say there's more money.
There's more money. So once there is no money,
they say it's more money for the governors and not more money for the people, because the poverty index from 2023 to 2026 shows that 56% of Nigerians live below poverty line.
You know, I don't know from which source you get that. You are able to get that. But what I'm saying is that
it's the NBS.
Yes, but what I'm saying is that me and you have agreed that more money for the governors. It is also the duty of these governors at their state level to handle. I come from a state, you come from a state. I want to believe that if you go to Adamawa State, where I come from, because I want to talk about what I know, is that the kind of infrastructure and economic activities going on in Adamawa State is really, really very encouraging. And normally you need the liquidity and you need business activities to always move on. I think attempts are being made to address some of these issues. And I also give you, there was this unification of exchange rate. Before the coming of this government, there were different windows of exchange rate. Some official exchange rates. People will go and buy dollar at a official exchange rate and then sell it to the black market. They sit in the comfort of their room, using their air condition and make billions of money because they have they have ways to access the official rate. Yet when they get it, instead of doing business with it, they go to the black market and sell, sit in one place. But when the unification comes up, it gave investors confidence because there is just one single window to now exchange, do the foreign exchange. And that also allowed investors to come in and put their money because they know that there's no differentiation, no different windows. So it also helped boost the economy.
So that takes me to Adamawa State, which you just mentioned, because it's not Uhuru as you try to paint the picture because of Mombari. There's insecurity. There's still the farmers' headed clashes. They still have an IDP explosion problem in Adamawa State, and then the poverty index in Adamawa is high, still regarded as one of the poorest states in the country. How's governance in Adamawa?
I would like to debate that because I like to debate that.
Which of them?
When you say it is the poorest, it's
one of the poorest.
One of the poorest, but can't be the poorest.
No, I didn't say the poorest. I said one of the poorest.
Even one of the
poorest says it was about 74%. Governor Fintiri insists that he's dropped it to 60%, which is still high if we go by his statistics.
Yeah, you see, governance is about continuation.
Yes.
You don't expect one single governor to solve a problem at the same time. Like some of the problems we are having with currently are not caused by the president. It was a lifelong program. Then each government will come and do its own part to solve the problem, and the next person will also do it. It's not like running a race of 4x4. You give the button to the next person. So I agree that we have a challenge of poverty. I am not contesting that. But I think the most important thing in governance is that when you have a challenge, what are those mechanisms you have to put in place to address this issue, this challenge? And I think in Adamawa, I'm not speaking for him. I'm not the spokesman of the governor. But having come from there, I know that, and I'm a rural person, don't worry. I know that he has put some things in order. Today you have what you call, he has been given a wallet, I forgot the name, Paweka. Every person, the person listening to me know, the countries have addressed what is called Paweka. Citizens and a lot of unemployed people are given some stipends, 50,000, so that they can be able to cushion the effects of some of these the challenges we have. And it has been working, provide scholarship to students. Even internationally, people have gone outside to study. And these are things that you put in order. It's not like even at the federal level, I am proud to say that as a APC person, that the president has also created what is called NEL Fund. That was first. In my days, I don't have NEL Fund now. All this Nigeria Education Fund. It was not there, but it's there. And in the North, we have benefited very much from that scholarship. And these are also measures that have been put in place to address poverty. And I think we don't expect that those measures will solve 100% the problem of poverty. But as time goes on, it will get to reduce. And I pray that it works.
Okay, hopefully you can also address the unemployment numbers in the state. But let me ask you a question as far as politics is concerned, because you've run for governor twice in Adamawa State. The interesting part is, the first time there was an interference from, I think, the wife of the former president, Muhammadu Buhari. The second time, this one which you just concluded, we understand that the NSA had some interest. So it raises questions around the politics in Adamawa State, and especially the APC in the Adamawa State. It's interesting that you speak so positively coming from that kind of election primary process, which many didn't find, as straightforward as possible. Well, what's the true situation of the APC and politics in Adamawa State?
Let me tell you, politics is a game of interest. If somebody tells you that X and Y has interest, NSA has interest, NAMDAS also has interest. It was the interest that drove me to contest for governorship. And whoever supports me, somebody will say the person has interest in NAMDAS. So, and how good you are able to play the game. For me, as an APC person and a party loyalist, I wouldn't like us to bother so much about, because we are past the stage. If I should complain now, what am I trying to achieve with that? The person who emerged victorious, Galadima Tijani, he has visited me. I was the runners-up. I came second in the election. He came to me and pleaded that he wants to work with me.
Was there an election?
And I feel that...
was there an election?
You say?
Was there an election that the primary election didn't really hold?
That's election. That's election.
The reports we get from Adamawa suggests that it was more of an imposition.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that I, for one, I want to tell you that we have passed the stage of whether there was an election or there was not an election.
So reconciliation
The
is
truth
taking
of the
place.
matter is that in politics, what do we want to achieve at the moment? What we want to achieve at the moment is that we want APC to win election. And somebody is already on ground to fly the flag of the party.
Governorship election.
And I am ready to support him and work.
How about the presidential election? Do you think Atiku will win again in 2020?
Well, I'm an APC merchant, so I think President Tinubu will win again.
No, you said that last year, in 2023.
Yes, I
that
said
Tinubu will win.
Yes.
Adamawa.
He won. Well, yes, you have to have a positive mind as a...
Well, the politics is not just about positivity, it's about working around.
Yes, but you have to work on the positivity too. If you have the belief that you are not going to make it, you can demoralize your members. And let me even tell you the scenario. If the variables that will make you win election today may not be the same variables to win election tomorrow. Now, for example, at the time we couldn't make it in Adamawa for Tinubu, it's because the governor at that time and even the former vice president were in different parties. They were in PDP. And we APC in Adamawa, we were opposition at that time.
I've just come off an interview with Mr. Buba Galadima, who was strongly opposed to state police, especially as far as the political angle of it is concerned. Well, what do you say? You mentioned here that I was chairman House Committee on Army. On Army, yes.
So since I was chairman House Committee on Army, I should not be talking about politics of whether the governor is going to use the state police to deal with opposition. You know, one means we are talking about elite personal interests. Let us discuss about how the state police is going to help.
Well, it's the same thing. I'm asking what you think about state police, considering the concerns.
I agree that I am fully in support of state police. This governor will not last more than 8 years, so another person will come.
Very well then. Honorable Abdulrazak Namdas, thank you very much for your time on Political Paradigm.
I appreciate it.
We're monitoring to see if they actually, allow you resume.
I will resume by
your new office, or they rescind the decision. Anyways, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Well, I've been speaking with Honorable Abdulrazak Namdas. He is currently the Director General of the Border Communities Development Agency, even though there are some scuffles here and there hindering his resumption. But he's also the former chairman of the House of Representatives Committee on Army. If you'd like to catch this conversation and the previous one with Mr. Buba Galadima, please go to YouTube and search Political Paradigm or go to channelstv.com. Thank you for your time. I'm Terry Ikumi. Goodbye.